Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. We're going on a fascinating journey back in time to explore the incredible meeting between Prophet Sulaiman and Queen Bilqis, a meeting that literally changed how we view worldly power forever. So grab a seat and pay close attention, because what we're about to uncover is truly mind-blowing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just think about this for a second. Who can move a massive, heavily guarded royal throne across hundreds of miles before you can even blink? It sounds impossible, right? Well, after receiving some magnificent gifts from Queen Bilqis, Prophet Sulaiman didn't just want to send a simple invitation. He wanted to show her a reality that completely shattered the illusions of worldly wealth and power. His plan? To have her prized throne sitting right there in his palace before she even arrived.
Part 1. A Grand Royal Challenge. Now you have to picture Prophet Sulaiman's court. This wasn't your average royal gathering. We're talking about humans, powerful jinns, and even birds and animals, all standing in strict, awe-inspiring ranks. It's in this incredibly majestic setting that the prophet poses his challenge. He asks his court, "Who among you can bring me Queen Bilqis's throne before she gets here?" Think about the sheer magnitude of this request. The throne was locked away in a highly secure fortress in Yemen, while they were all the way in Jerusalem. He wanted this ultimate symbol of her power present before the queen even set foot in the palace.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible contrast it sets up. We're looking at raw, physical, supernatural strength on one side and the profound power of divine knowledge on the other. When the prophet threw down this challenge, two very different offers were made. Let's look at what they were.
First, an immensely powerful Jinn steps up with total confidence. He says, "I will bring it before you stand from your place. I am capable and trustworthy." He's basically saying, before this court session is even over, I'll have it here and I won't damage it on the way. That is an absolutely staggering claim. Crossing hundreds of miles in mere hours is no joke for any worldly creature.
But then, someone else speaks up. A man who possessed knowledge of the book, divine, heavenly knowledge. He completely shatters the jinn's offer, stating, "I will bring it to you before your eye blinks." Wow, this just completely changes the game. It shows us how true divine knowledge totally surpasses sheer physical muscle. This wasn't about traveling fast. This was about tapping into a capability granted by God that completely ignores the rules of time and space.
And in the literal blink of an eye, it happens. Boom! The massive, glorious throne, completely intact, is sitting right there in front of Prophet Sulaiman. It is just absolutely awe-inspiring. This wasn't some magic trick. This was a pure, undeniable divine miracle, proving the unimaginable power granted to the prophet by God. The impossible was achieved, instantly.
Moving on to Part 2, the arrival of the Queen.
The scene shifts. There's a commotion at the palace gates, and Queen Bilqis's grand royal caravan finally arrives after their long journey. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer shock she must have felt. Imagine stepping into this foreign palace, and the very first thing that catches your eye is your own throne. The exact same throne you left behind in Yemen, locked behind 7 heavily guarded doors. She is completely and utterly stunned. Her ultimate symbol of authority is just casually sitting in another king's living room.
Let's walk through what's happening in her head right now. She is staring at an impossible reality. There is no logical, earthly explanation for how this massive object beat her to Jerusalem. And this physical miracle? It was the crucial first step in breaking down her entire worldly paradigm. The clouds of doubt start to clear, and she begins to realize that Prophet Sulaiman isn't just some conquering king. He is clearly backed by a supernatural, divine power.
This brings us to Part 3, the illusion of the glass palace.
But the wonders don't stop there. The queen is invited further inside, into a spectacular grand hall. And guys, picture this. The floor of this hall is made entirely of flawlessly clear polished glass. It's so transparent that you can see a stream of crystal clear water flowing directly beneath it, with fish swimming around. It's an architectural masterpiece unlike anything she has ever seen in her entire life. It is visually breathtaking, and you almost feel like you're stepping onto the water right alongside her. Let's move to and see how this builds her psychological journey. She looks down at this dazzling floor and genuinely mistakes the clear glass for a pool of deep water. Totally natural reaction, right? So she instinctively lifts her garments a bit to avoid getting wet. And that's when Prophet Sulaiman gently smiles and explains that it's actually smooth glass, not water. In that precise moment, her worldly pride crumbles. She realizes her own limitations and is entirely humbled by the divine grandeur of this place.
Part 4. Awakening to the Truth.
Now, despite having this overwhelming, unimaginable power over humans, jinns, and nature itself, look at how Prophet Sulaiman treats her. He welcomes Queen Bilqis with immense dignity, grace, and profound respect. You know, worldly power often makes people arrogant, but the Prophet's gentle and respectful demeanor hits her right in the heart. He shows her that this incredible power isn't for personal ego. It's entirely about serving God. This combination completely shifts her worldview. The miraculous throne, the mind-bending glass palace, and the Prophet's flawless character, it all comes together. She recognizes without a shadow of a doubt that this is not mere worldly kingship. Every last bit of suspicion clears away. She steps away from her people's tradition of worshiping the sun and firmly places her feet on the path to recognizing the one true creator of the universe. So, the crucial point we need to take away from this is how she looks past the illusion. The Queen realizes the ultimate truth. These majestic supernatural displays aren't just parlor tricks or flexes of wealth. They are divine miracles directly granted by God. She recognizes the deception of the material world and humbly submits to the real, ultimate power behind it all. It is truly a beautiful story of awakening.
So, what does this all mean for the future? Having witnessed the truth so intimately, will Queen Bilqis and her entire sun-worshipping nation now accept Islam? Will a whole empire bow down to the one true God? Well, you are definitely going to want to find out. If you enjoyed this explainer, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your friends. We'll be answering that huge cliffhanger in our next explainer of Animated Quranic Tales, so until then, keep wondering, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.